Hello students, how are you? I'm doing really fine, thank you. I hope you're doing fine as well. And welcome to a new semester of these online classes. Okay, so today we're going to look over the worksheet we sent you yesterday, and we're going to revise the contents. We're going to revise some exercise for you to be clear about what you have to do. Okay, in Spanish. Bienvenidos. Espero que estén bien, que también estén bien. Vamos a ver la guía que les mandé ayer. Vamos a revisar el contenido, vamos a revisar cómo se hacen los ejercicios para que puedan tenerlo claro y puedan hacer la guía sin ningún problema. Ok, fine. So let's begin. First exercise. Beginning of the class. Answer the following questions. Have you been to the UK? Has your brother or sister done ocean sports? The point here is for you to answer the questions. Whether you answer them right or wrong, it doesn't matter at this point. Just answer them as you think they are answered. ¿Ok? Estas preguntas, como es el inicio, queremos que las respondan. No importa cómo las respondan, si de manera correcta o incorrecta. Queremos ver cómo ustedes se enfrentan a este nuevo desafío que es responder esta pregunta. ¿Ok? Nice. Moving on. We now move on to present perfect, but this time we have yes/no questions and short answers. Okay, present perfect with yes/no questions and short answer. So yes/no questions, as their name implies, are questions that their answers are yes or no. Okay, and the short answer is as you know, an answer that is really short. Okay, so yes/no questions, como su nombre lo indica, son preguntas que se responden con sí o con no, y también tenemos respuestas cortas para estas preguntas, exactamente. Okay, how do we make a yes/no question? How do we create one? So, the first thing we need for a yes/no question is our auxiliaries. Okay, have if you're using I, you, we, they, and has if you're using he, she, or it. So, we start the question with have and has. Then we write the subject. Again, if you're using have, I, you, we, they, has, he, she, it. So we have auxiliary, subject, and finally past participle. Last class we revised past participle forms, so you should know them and you shouldn't have any problems with this part. So, ¿cómo creamos esta pregunta de yes/no question with present perfect? Partimos por el auxiliar have o has, dependiendo de nuevo del sujeto que estemos ocupando. Luego viene el sujeto y por último completamos con el pasado participio. En la guía pasada hablamos del pasado participio, así que no deberían tener problemas con esto por ahora. Okay, now we know how to do the answer, how to create the questions. But now we need to learn how to answer these yes/no questions. Okay, as I told you before, the answers for these questions are yes or no. If your answer is yes, you of course have to write yes. Then you need to write the subject pronoun you're using, and finally the auxiliary that corresponds to your subjects. If you're using I, you, we, or they, have. If you're using he, she, it, has. For example, yes, you have, or yes, she has. If your answer is no, obviously you need to write no, followed by subject pronoun and the negative form of the auxiliary verbs, in this case haven't or hasn't. So for example, no, we haven't, or no, it hasn't. Okay, so yes, no, subject pronoun, and then have, has. If yes, haven't and hasn't, so no. Yes, very nice. Now let's focus in this box. What does it say? Questions in the present perfect are very similar to affirmative and negative sentences. The only difference is the order. Ok, las preguntas de sí o no en present perfect son muy similares a lo que son las oraciones afirmativas y negativas. La única diferencia es el orden de some words, ciertas palabras que vamos a ver a continuación. Example, you have finished. Affirmative sentence. Oración afirmativa, you have finished. Now, the question, have you finished? You see, the only thing that changes is the order of the auxiliary and the subject, okay? For questions, we start with the auxiliary followed by the subject, but for affirmative or negative sentences, we start with the subject and it's followed by the auxiliary. Aquí lo que cambia es el orden de estas palabritas, del auxiliar y el subject pronoun, ¿ok? En afirmativos y negaciones partimos con el subject pronoun y seguimos con el auxiliar. En cambio, en questions partimos con el auxiliar y después escribimos el subject pronoun, ¿ok? So, summary, we change the order of have, has, and the subject pronoun, ¿ok? You can see that here, have, has, subject pronoun, past participle, have they been to France? Okay, and then you have also, again, how to write the short answers. Yes or no, subject pronoun, have, has, if yes, haven't, hasn't, if no. Okay, and now we have the first exercise. Let's read the instructions. Write questions, then write affirmative or negative short answers. Hay que escribir las preguntas ocupando estas palabras. And then, después, write, escribir affirmative or negative. Affirmative, ticket, negative, and X, short answers a las preguntas que ustedes han creado. Let's see the example. We have you, be, and to Spain. And we need to answer with a negative short answer. So, question, we start with have, the auxiliary verb, for the subject you. Then, write you, and we need to write the past participle form of be, in this case, been. And finally, we add the rest of these words. Have you been to Spain? That's the question. Beautiful question. Now the answer. We need to write a negative answer. So, no. I haven't. Subject and el auxiliar en forma negativa porque estamos diciendo que no. Aquí tienen que tener mucho cuidado. Be very careful. Todas las preguntas que están con you no se responden con you, se responden con I. ¿Ya? Porque yo te pregunto a ti, have you been to Spain? Y tú no respondes, yes, you have been to Spain. Uno responde, yes, I have been to Spain. O en este caso, no, I haven't been to Spain. Okay? There you go. You can create the questions and the answers following the example. Now, we move on to ever and never. How do we use these two words in present perfect? So, in the present perfect, we use ever and never to talk about the frequency of the actions. How many times do we do the action, or did we do, or have we done this action? We have done this action, So, first, ever, it means in your life, and we use it in yes and no questions. Between the subject pronouns and the past participle. Entonces, ever lo ocupamos en yes or no questions, entre medio del subject pronoun y el past participle. Example, have you ever visited Canada? Nice. Between subject pronoun and the past participle. On the other hand, we have never. It means not in your life. And we use it in affirmative sentences between have or has and the past participle. Never significa que tú nunca has hecho esta cosa o esta acción y la ocupamos en oraciones afirmativas entre medio de nuestro auxiliar have or has, dependiendo del subject, y el past participle. Example, she has never visited Mexico. So, never está entre el has y el past participle visited. Very nice. Now, be careful with never. Let's read. Aunque never se utilice en oraciones afirmativas, ¿qué significa eso? Que el auxiliar no está en la forma negativa, por eso oración afirmativa. La oración se considera como un negativo, que tiene un significado negativo, ¿ya? Porque la palabra never tiene una connotación de carácter negativo. Tú nunca lo has hecho. ¿Ya? Very nice. Be careful with that. Let's go over exercise number 2. Reorder the words to make questions. Then give true short answers. So, reorder. Aquí tenemos una pregunta que ha sido desordenada. Ustedes tienen que armarla de nuevo. Yes. Y luego responder con short answer de acuerdo a lo que ustedes hayan vivido. Por ejemplo, have you ever been to the theater? Yes, I have. Si es que yo he ido. O si usted nunca ha ido al cine. No, I haven't. Okay? Remember, we start with the auxiliary, subject pronoun, and then we have the verb in the past participle. Okay, so you have 3 exercises here. Again, reorder the questions and then answer with true short answers about your experiences about these topics. Okay, nice. Now we move on to exercise 3, and this is it is a very interesting exercise, so pay attention. Write 2 negative present perfect sentences. Okay, so using these words, usando estas palabras, you have to write 2 negative present perfect sentences that are different. 2 oraciones en presente perfecto negativas diferentes. Let's see the example. Lee visit Peru. Lee, he, hasn't, negative, visited, past participle form of visit, Peru. Very nice. Lee hasn't visited Peru. Second sentence. Lee has never visited Peru. Lee, he has, auxiliary, never, not in his life, visited, past participle form of visit, Peru. Okay, so you need to write 2 negative sentences using the words that you are provided. Okay, and that's 1, 2, 3 very nice simple exercises. Now, moving on, this is last part of the content. Okay, so first, here there's a typo. You should read present perfect, not past perfect, because this section is about the difference between present perfect and simple past. Again, this part is about the difference between present perfect and simple past. Okay, we need to learn how to differentiate one from the other. Ya, esta parte es para ver cómo podemos diferenciar el presente perfecto del pasado simple. Okay, so let's review very quickly, because simple past, you have seen this on classes. You should be very fluent in simple past. Okay, so we use the simple past to talk about a complete past action, an action that started and finished in the past. Okay, simple past es para hablar sobre acciones que empezaron y terminaron en el pasado. Okay, we usually use the past simple with a past time expression, which says when something happened, and this is very important. Generalmente el pasado simple viene con una expresión de tiempo que nos dice when something happened, cuando pasó tal cosa, exactamente. Okay, let's look at the example. I went to Miami last summer. I went to Miami last summer. Last summer is telling me exactly when you went to Miami. Aquí, la expresión de tiempo last summer me está diciendo exactamente cuándo fuiste a Miami. No fue ayer, no fue hace 2 semanas, no fue en diciembre, fue last summer. Exactamente, ¿ok? Por eso que esta oración es simple past, ¿ok? Here you have some past time expressions for you to use in the simple past, okay? So, yesterday, last week, last month, 1 week ago, 2 months ago, 3 years ago, yesterday again, yes, very important. Yesterday morning, that's even more specific. It's not yesterday, it's yesterday morning. In 1990, the day before yesterday, that's a good movie by the way. In March, on Sunday, when I was born, okay? So some time expressions, ayer, la semana pasada, el mes pasado, hace una semana, hace 2 meses, hace 3 años, ayer, sí, ayer en la mañana, en 1990, el día después de mañana. En marzo, el día domingo o el domingo, cuando nací. You see, this tells us exactly when something happened. Esto nos dice exactamente cuando algo pasó. Very nice. Now, we move on to the present perfect. We use the present perfect to talk about a past action with a present result. Past action with present result. Una acción que hicimos en el pasado que tiene una conexión con el presente o que tiene su efecto en el presente. ¿Ok? Or about an experience that happened in our lifetime. O una experiencia que pasó en nuestras vidas. The important thing here is that we do not specify when it happened. No decimos exactamente cuándo pasó, porque no es relevante o sencillamente no nos acordamos, ¿ya? Pero no sabemos when. Aquí no tenemos idea de cuándo pasó. Okay, let's look at the example. Have you ever been to Buenos Aires? I have eaten Mexican food. Okay. Again, nos estamos preguntando when. No queremos saber cuándo exactamente pasó eso. We want to know if you have done it. Queremos saber si lo has hecho o no. Very nice. Here you have a link to a YouTube video that will explain this difference between the present perfect and the past simple in a more easy and comprehensible way. Good. Let's go. Exercise. Complete the sentences with the present perfect or simple past form of the verbs in parentheses. Okay? So, we have to complete each sentence, completar cada oración con el verbo en la forma correcta. Puede ser present perfect o puede ser simple past. Let's look at the examples. Nate went to Miami last month. Here, this sentence is in past simple because we have our time expression. We know when it happened. When did it happen? Last month. Aquí sabemos que es pasado simple porque tenemos la expresión que nos dice exactamente cuándo pasó. Que Nate fue el mes pasado. Now, on the second sentence, we have I this song before. We do not have a specific time. No tenemos un tiempo específico. Dice esta canción en algún momento. Before, antes, no sabemos. That's why we use present perfect. Not here, haven't heard. Okay? So, be careful. Look for the time expressions. If it has a time expression, then you go with simple past. If it doesn't have a time expression, when you don't know when something happened, that's present perfect. Okay? Very good. Now, final part of this worksheet. We need to complete these two boxes. Okay? This box is about ever and never. And you have to read the sentences, these two sentences, and complete these sentences with ever and never. One with never and the second one with ever or vice versa. Aquí tienen que leer las oraciones y completar las reglas, ¿ya? Una oración tiene que llevar never, la otra tiene que llevar ever. Ahí ven ustedes cuál es la que corresponde a cuál de estas dos palabras. And now, in the second box, read the sentences, then choose the correct alternatives. Okay, again, we have to read these two sentences. Okay, I've slept in a tent. I slept in a tent last June. And now, we need to choose the word, the tense, present perfect or simple past, that is being described in these lines. Okay, so aquí tenemos que leer ambas dos oraciones y después tenemos que elegir cuáles de los dos tenses está siendo descrito en estas líneas, ¿ya? Si esta definición corresponde a present perfect o simple past, aquí lo mismo, si esta definición corresponde a present perfect o simple past. And that's it. That's the worksheet for this week. It might seem a lot, but it's really easy. Okay, it's really, as I said, it's really easy, so you shouldn't have many problems. But if you do have problems, don't be ashamed to write me an email or to write an email to Miss Anita, ¿ok? Esta guía parece mucho, pero en realidad es súper corta y es súper bien clara, así que no deberían tener ningún problema. Pero si lo tienen, por favor, de todas maneras, escríbanos sus preguntas a nuestros mails, al mío o al de Miss Anita, ¿ok? So guys, as it says here, have a nice day, have a nice week, and see you when I see you again. Bye bye!